Привет, друзья! Как дела? Меня зовут Mark. Добрый пожаловать в мой school. Hi everybody, it's Mark. Welcome to Cossack Martial Arts. Today we're going to go ahead and we're going to work on our cutting, as things to practice, and then also our draws. Something we can always practice and work on building our speed. So let's get started. When we're cutting, we want to talk about equilibriums. There is the equilibrium of the person, equilibrium of the blade, and equilibrium of the target. Okay? So if this is a wobbly stand, then the target's going to do this. So the chances of doing a proper clean cut is almost impossible. Why? Because the target itself is out of balance. So it's important that when you're practicing your cutting that your stand is solid. This is a great example of one of the ones that I made out of scrap metal using entire base double plywood, so that way if the top gets damaged while training, because my students miss, what happens? It's easy to replace it. Okay? It's a nice half-gallon milk bottle. Easy. Good object to cut. It has a nice big label on it. So it's easy to go ahead and place your mental line of where you want to cut, so you have a good aim point. With your setup, it should be anchored back here. Strap should be loose. And this thing could be actually cocked upward. So when you stand, it's right here. We want this thing to what? Jump into our hand. We don't want this thing where I've got to search for it, so my hand should what? Sweep down, pick up, and it should be natural. So it maintains the equilibrium. We don't want our blade going and fluttering across the sky. We want it like that, clean. So yes, in the perfect world, if we're doing this one-handed, it should be that. And yes, that's not a sound effect. That's actually what the blade sounds like when it comes out. It should have that ding, and you should hear the. If your blade is truly sharp, it should be slicing the air. So it should be like that. No, it's not part of the Shaw Brothers movie effects. All right, so let's go ahead and do some cutting. So I'm going to go ahead and use this for my target. I'm going to do what? I'm going to slowly take this out, and I want to what? Check my area. Why do I want to do that? Because I don't want to strike my blade against anything around me. So that's important. That's an important thing to do as a safety check. Also, make sure your area is sealed off so there's no people, dogs, anything that you don't want to cut is there. So I have the nice red label I can use for my marker. Okay, so I can do what? I can set this here. So I got my marker. I can say I want to aim for this. That's my goal to cut. Or I might pick the white section, or I can draw lines on this depending upon what I want to do to practice. So basic practice, we've checked our stand, it's solid, we checked our target, this is solid it's going to be. So I want to sweep my hand down, step, and in one motion. Okay? So I should be able to what? Walk up and be there. That's what I want to do. So as the moment my foot lands, okay, as I walk up, boom. That's where I want to be. So, from this position, I do what? I step, I draw, and I cut. And I was aiming for the white right here, so I'm a 1/4 inch off the draw, which is not bad. 1/4 inch of accuracy, that speed, that's good work. This is a combined skill because what I'm doing is I want to what? I want to practice with my footfall and my draw, right? So I need to practice what? I need to first practice what my draw is, so I get used to it. I want to practice what? Maintaining my equilibrium. If I have to settle into my hips, that's fine, that's important. So I might need to what? And then just do this. That quick. And I was aiming for the little black label, and I was just above it. I'm practicing over and over again. I'm practicing walking up, dun, 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 and stop, dropping in as I cut to maintain my equilibrium. I don't want my blade to go woo. You don't want it rolling, right? It's not the goal of this. So what do? We practice what? walking up, coming in, stepping, and we drop into our hips for a moment as we cut. That's really important, so you don't have your head being the dipper duck. You see people walk up and they're all, and it's like, no, that's not what we want, kids. All right, so what do we want? Maintaining the equilibrium of the body, the blade, and the target, so we can be what? Accurate when we cut. What a concept. So we walk up and say, okay, boom. And I was aiming for the little white label. Again, I'm right through the middle of it. That's what I want to do. Amazing how much fun you can have with your recyclables. So we can practice what? Hey, drop, and we draw, right? So we can do this over and over and over again, seeking what? Perfection. To figure out, where do we feel our equilibrium? Are we here? Are we here? Are we here? This is important to practice, because guess what? This does make a difference. You notice I like to use a slanting cut. Why? Because I know it's effective. Okay? So I can be in this position, hey, doodle-doodle-doodle, I'm walking and go. And I was aiming for the top of the red label. Here, I'm a 1/4 inch off. Not bad. One drill I like to do is practicing doubles. So my goal is to pick up the 2 targets. Let's look at them real quick. Pan over there, and you see there's a front and a rear. So let's see if I can pull off a doubles today. It's a fun one to practice. So we have what? We need to draw our sword. Boom. Cut this guy. Pick this guy up. All right. Should be easy, right? Famous last words. All right. So this is why we practice this thing. Multiple opponents. We're not fencing one individual. We have multiple opponents. You're surrounded. Okay, and you have to do what? Take them both out. Like that. And if you notice, pretty close on the height. Спасибо, мои друзья, смотрите моя film. Thank you for watching my film. You know what I said? До свидания, на здоровье, goodbye and to your health. Увидимся только, see you soon. Пока-пока. Bye-bye.